The city of Mexico City, situated on the focal Mexican level, is viewed as a uber city because of its gigantic populace of roughly 22 million individuals. Nonetheless, regardless of its great size, the city faces various critical difficulties. One of these difficulties is that Mexico City is based on the top of a lake bed, which makes the city sink at a pace of around 10 inches each year. This is primarily due to the fact that the city's water pumps draw from the lake bed below, leading to instability in the sandy ground. Moreover, even little tremors can significantly affect the city's framework, with seismic movement being intensified by as much as 500%. Subsequently, Mexico City has battled with issues connected with water, board, garbage removal, and metropolitan framework lately. Mexico City, quite possibly the biggest city on the planet, positions as the second biggest maker of waste all around the world. A critical part of this waste, the greater part, is created by families and is gathering by an armada of 2,400 diesel-fueled pump trucks. Incredibly, around 90% of this waste winds up in landfills, adding to the outflow of methane, an exceptionally powerful ozone-harming substance, liable for 10% of worldwide discharges. The unfavorable effect of this present circumstance on both human well-being and the climate is disturbing. Regardless, lately, the inhabitants of Mexico City have been attempting to switch this pattern. This video highlights the transformation of an abandoned trash pit into a green waste management system using innovative Mexican technology that reduces CO2 emissions during the recycling process. This initiative not only helps the environment, but also creates a green oasis within the city, with social and educational spaces for the local community. Mexico City may not appear to be well planned from a geographical standpoint, but its history tells a different story. It was founded by the Aztecs in 1325 AD and was known as Tenochtitlan. The city immediately developed into a populace of roughly 300,000 and became one of the world's most significant cities, even though it was an uber city at the time because of its size, riches, and populace. However, what truly sets it apart is that the ancient Aztec society that inhabited this city was able to achieve a zero-waste lifestyle, which is a remarkable achievement, even by modern standards. The Aztecs were able to build a society that made effective use of its resources because they developed a method of agriculture that was both extremely productive and integrated the reuse of nutrients that were derived from waste products. To do this, they increased the usage of chinampas, which are known as artificial islands. Chinampas had already been put to use by native communities, such as the Tolteca, as early as the year 100 AD. The nutrient-rich material that was gathered from the lake's bottom was utilized in the construction of the chinampas. This strategy not only ensured that there was adequate food available to sustain the expanding Aztec population, but it also assisted in the management of garbage disposal. Food and agricultural wastes that were not consumed were either put to use as fertilizer for fields or disposed of inside of the chinampas. It is interesting to note that the chinampas relied heavily on human waste as their primary source of fertilizer. Urine was also employed by the Aztecs as a fixative for the dyes that they used on their garments. The Aztecs offer a fascinating illustration of a society that was able to flourish economically by making effective use of available resources and minimizing instances of waste. However, once the Spanish conquered the Aztecs in the year 1521 AD, the infrastructure for the waste treatment was destroyed. The lakes were drained, and Mexico City was built on the lake bed. Because of Mexico City's detonating populace lately, the city's waste and water executives' frameworks have been in a condition of decay, and it has become progressively testing to meet the healthful necessities of such an enormous and quickly growing populace. The Roma Sur neighborhood in Mexico City has been working hard to find solutions to the problems that they have been having. They have created a location that is known as Huerta Roma Verde. It covers an area that is around 8,000 square meters in size. The piece of land was part of a home complex in the past, but it was severely damaged in the earthquake that occurred in 1985. For the next 27 years, it sat empty and was used solely as a place for inhabitants of the surrounding area to dump their waste. Paco, a resident of the Roma area, was the one who came up with the idea to turn the undeveloped space into a social ecological experiment. During my outing to the locale, I had the potential chance to discuss with the boss farming organizer, which gave me the opportunity to study the state-of-the-art advancements that are used in Mexico. Before going to the facility that manages garbage, I took a stroll around Nelson Mandela Park. This area served as the point of departure for the beginning of this endeavor, from which it then organically expanded. A structure that is just liable for gathering water can be tracked down in the center of the nursery and is circled on all sides by raised garden beds. It was a staggering sight to see the various kinds of yields like local corn, tomatoes, and mixed greens thriving in closeness to each other. Produce that has been collected is made available for sale to members of the community that is nearby. However, the most important thing that's needed in order to grow these vegetables is rich soil, which is generated on the premises via the utilization of the organic food waste that is provided by nearby restaurants and eateries. The collecting of garbage is accomplished with the use of a tricycle, and once it has been gathered, a variety of strategies are implemented in order to handle it. Antonio, who serves in the role of Chief Agricultural Coordinator, was the one who provided me with the opportunity to get knowledge regarding these techniques. Antonio walked me through the many various methods of composting, which included anything from aerated bins and chambers to compost coffins. While he was talking, he mentioned that a container used for composting is made up of 5 different pieces, 2 of which are remnants of food, and the remaining 3 parts are made up of carbon. These carbon components can be acquired via the decomposition of natural resources, such as coconut fibers, twigs, and branches, among other things. The area around Roma Verde is located beneath a tree canopy, which not only offers shade, but also helps regulate the temperature and combats the heat island effect caused by the surrounding metropolis. As a result, an abundance of such materials can be found in this region. Antonio provides further explanation on the use of the microbacteria that are naturally found in the chinampas. The microbacteria have been shown to be effective in both speeding up the process of decomposition and reducing the number of unpleasant smells produced. In order to accomplish this, they made use of containers for composting that are perforated and are typically referred to as chinampero compostero. The fact that it is both inexpensive and easy to use what makes this system so appealing. The fact that it is both inexpensive and easy to use is what makes this system so appealing. It is specially intended to treat trash that is degrading, but has not yet reached the stage of petrification. This is an essential step in preventing the emission of hazardous greenhouse gases like methane and carbon dioxide, which may contaminate the environment. There is a particular location set aside for the recycling of non-biodegradable solid trash, such as plastic caps, batteries, and other types of disposables. It is a stunning sight to see the revival of historic eco-friendly methods as well as the palpable sense of revitalization and well-being that the environment radiates. Both of these aspects contribute to the overall experience of the environment. The facility comprises a variety of extra amenities, such as a section for holistic cures, an outdoor performance space, structures created from natural materials, and ecologically friendly restrooms, including a specific unit for female hygiene. In addition, the facility has an outdoor performance area, structures crafted from natural resources, and an outdoor performance space. In addition to that, the wastewater that is produced by the sink is being reused. Huerta Roma Verde serves as an excellent model of a holistic community that is dedicated to zero waste practices in a bustling megacity. If we were to allocate more zones in our local neighborhoods to manage waste effectively, we could also repurpose it and convert it into beneficial materials that can nourish people and foster a sense of social and therapeutic well-being. Instead of the absurd practice of treating our trash as something to dispose of and forget, paying someone else to handle it, and further polluting our environment, we must embrace sustainable alternatives. If we fail to take action now, this approach will prove unsustainable going forward. Mexico City has a long way to go in addressing its waste management issues, but initiatives like Huerta Roma Verde give us hope that positive change is possible. As we move forward, we must remember the lessons of the ancient Aztecs who were able to achieve a zero-waste lifestyle through effective resource management. By learning from their example and embracing sustainable alternatives, we can create a cleaner, healthier, and more prosperous future for ourselves and future generations.